Now, for those that are a big fan of Pro Q3 from FabFilter, you're going to love the filter here because it kind of looks very similar and acts very similar to the Pro Q3 EQ. So we have the capability of adding up to 4 different very high quality self-oscillating filters full of character and internal saturation. Now, when we're using the filter, let's put in some extra filter points here, like so. So we have this overall thick yellow line, which shows us the overall filter shape. So we have the individual filter shapes visible here. And then this thick yellow line is going to show us the overall filter shape, which is resulting from the up to 4 filters that we've added in. Let's just reset those. Now, once we have a filter in there or we add a new filter in, we can easily change the parameters of that filter by coming onto the display, which looks very similar to Pro Q3. Now, to make a filter, we can do that in different ways. We can either single click and drag up and down when one of those nodes appears, or alternatively, we can double click like so. Now, the actual filter shape which results is going to be determined by where you click or drag. Let's actually reset all of the filters so we have nothing visible here. So let's say we wanted to have a notch filter. Well, if we double click down in the bottom left of the display here, we're going to get a notch filter that we can then drag to wherever we want it to be located. If we want a high or a low pass filter, all we need to do is click and drag either up at the top here to get a low pass filter, or alternatively down at the bottom here to get a high pass filter. And if we just double click like so, we'll get a standard kind of bell filter, like so. Now, once we've set a shape, if we wanted to change it, we could always click down on the display here to change it to whatever we wanted. So we could make that into a bell or a high shelf, for example, or a notch. So we can do that from within here once we've actually set the filter shape. And let me also draw your attention to the fact that we can change the filter slope from here as well, as you can see. Okay, let's just delete that filter. Okay, so let's just put in a new filter here. Now, if we wanted to change the parameters for this, all we need to do is rest on those 3 little dots that are visible, and it will open up the kind of further parameters for the filter. Now, of course, we can drag up and down to change the frequency position of the filter. And you can see the peak is also changing as well as we drag up and down. We can use the mouse wheel. You see we're changing the shape of the filter there, or the slope of the filter, I should say. Let's exaggerate that a little bit. So that's dragging up and down the mouse wheel. If we hold down Command and drag the mouse wheel, we can change the peak position here. We can hold down Command and drag horizontally to change the pan position. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. And we can also hold down Shift and we get very fine adjustments to both the peak and also the frequency. Now, if we hold down Alt or the Option key, we can constrain the movement. So we could just have left and right, for example, or just up and down. And we also have the ability to bypass a filter by holding down Alt or Option and clicking like so. We can also do that using the little power button here. Now, as well as opening up the filter here and working on these parameters, we can also right click just to quickly change something about a filter. So, for example, the shape or the slope here as well. We can also delete it or disable it from there too. Okay, so as well as changing the actual filter type here from the menu that we've already seen, we can also change the kind of character of the filter as well. So we have a few different options to choose from. We're on a low pass here. So let's just try some of these out. I'm just going to bring up the peak or resonance a little bit. So you can hear the difference between the raw and classic, for example. Gentle. It's a much more saturating kind of resi sounding. Bit thin sounding. So we get into kind of self-oscillation territory. And very 303 sounding. and then clean. So you can hear we have very different kind of characteristics to that filter, depending on which one we choose. Now, obviously, on any filter, the most important parameter, let me just change the slope here. The most important parameter is going to be the cutoff position, and also the peak as well, which is going to give us the resonance. That means we're going to resonate around the cutoff point. So you can see as we move the filter, and we have this little peak here. And the filter on Twin 3 is really nice because it allows you to really visualize what's going on in the frequency spectrum, because you can see that you can kind of visually see, like you would do on an EQ, the position you have the filter placed and also the amount of that peak resonance that you're adding in there. So it's really nicely implemented, I think. Now, if you remember, we mentioned that if you hold down the command key, you can actually kind of separate out this filter into two different positions in the two different pan destinations, left and right. Let's try that out. So we have that kind of pan offset. Let's make that a little bit closer together. And in fact, let's change the shape so we're working with a bell. So you can hear that stereo width that's being added by having that bell separated out. So we have different position for the left and the right hand channel. That was holding down command and going left and right to change the position there. So it adds some nice stereo movement into the sound by having those pan positions with two different filters or two different filter positions in the frequency spectrum. Okay, let's just reset this again. Now we can also change the routing here. So let's say we had, we'll keep it on a bell and we'll bring this up. So we can choose how we're going to pass through these two filters, and we can do that from this menu here. So we can choose to go in serial. That means the sound's going to pass through the filters serially. So the sound of all the oscillators are going to pass through filter 1 and then through filter 2. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to be low passing the sound and then passing through this bell shape. So for example, now we're not hearing anything from the bell shape because actually we've taken away those harmonics up there using filter 1. So in series, that's not going to work. But now it's coming into play. So let's say we did the opposite. So let's take filter 1 and let's change that to a bell. And then for filter 2, we'll place that onto a low pass. So now we've got the opposite. So now we've got that bell shape, kind of a peak filter. And that's now being low passed. So just two different routings. And that's because we're going through filter 1 first and then filter 2. We can do it in parallel. Now in parallel, the sound is going to go through both filters simultaneously. And then the result is going to be mixed together. So now we have a low pass filter working and a bell. And you'll notice that the low pass is very low. We're still going to hear that bell shape at work because the sounds from the oscillators are passing through both filters simultaneously. So there is another option here as well, and that is per oscillator. So let's make a couple of different filters here. And let's add in some extra oscillators. Now, each oscillator's output is going to feed into its respective filter. So for example, oscillator 1 is going to pass through filter 1. Let's turn down the other two. Okay, let's bring up oscillator 2. So now oscillator 2 is passing through filter 2. And oscillator 3 is passing through filter 3. So now we have the complexity of having each one of the oscillators passing through its own dedicated filter. So really nice kind of complex routing potentials here. And of course, remember, we can separate these out. So we have a bit of stereo information here as well. And that's without even having modulated anything. So if we added in modulation there, we can have some really nice complex movement going on. Okay, now finally for the filter, we have the filter frequency offset and the filter peak offset. So let's just keep it to one oscillator. And let's just put in some extra shapes here, like so. And what we can do is use the filter frequency offset to change the position of each one of these at the same time. So if you wanted to adjust the whole filter position using all 4 different filters at the same time, you could do so. So if you load up a preset and you're like, this is great, but it's all a little bit too bright, you could just quickly dial back with this filter frequency offset all of the filter frequency positions for each one of the filters. And likewise, you can do this for the peak or resonance control as well. So it's a very efficient way of being able to just quickly tailor a sound to be exactly what it is you're looking for. And those are the filter controls. So to recap, we know we've got this lovely Pro Q3 style display here. We can have up to 4 filters. And we can add these in different ways. We can double click. We can also click and drag like so. And the position and the way that we click is going to determine the type of filter we add in. So for example, if we come down to the bottom left-hand corner here, we're going to get notch. Just delete that. If we go right back to the end here, or the extremities to the left and the right, we're going to get either high pass or low pass filters. Double click to get a bell like so. So it's quite a quick way of being able to add in different filter types. Once we've added it in there, we can always change the type of filter here and also the slope of the filter. And we can also right click on these as well to do so. We have a few different shortcuts that relate to the filters. We can hold down Shift to get fine adjustments here. We can hold down Option or Alt to limit the movement either vertically or horizontally. We can also hold down Command, drag left and right, and we can offset the pan position around that central point. So we have a different position for the left and right hand channel for really nice kind of stereo width. These filters can be set up in series, in parallel, or we can have one filter per oscillator. So oscillator 1 passes to filter 1 and so on and so forth. And once we have these set up, we also have the ability to offset the frequency for all 4 oscillators and also the peak control as well. Okay, so now we've covered the filter, and in the next video, we're going to have a look at the effects section. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.